As we get older, we tend to accept certain changes as a given. Waking up earlier, struggling to fall asleep, or feeling energy dips at odd hours are usually categorized as normal, inevitable symptoms of aging. But recent longitudinal data is suggesting a different relationship. These disruptions are appearing less like side effects of a maturing brain and more like active participants in how fast that brain physically ages. To understand this link, researchers are focusing on three distinct biological pillars of rest: timing, quantity, and quality. Identifying how each of these functions may provide a roadmap for how we influence the brain's physical aging process. Sleep is being reevaluated, moving from a passive activity we do at the end of the day to a potential frontline factor in long-term cognitive health. The first pillar, timing, was the focus of a 2026 study published in the journal Neurology. Researchers found that when you are active matters just as much as how much you sleep. The study utilized a metric called relative amplitude, which measures the contrast between a person's most active periods during the day and their least active periods at night. This chart shows the difference in daily energy rhythms. Older adults whose activity peaked late in the afternoon, after 2:15 p.m., faced a 45% higher risk of developing dementia than those who peaked earlier in the day. A late activity peak often indicates a mismatch between the body's internal clock and environmental signals like daylight. The data suggests that cognitive health is tied to staying in sync with these natural cycles. The second pillar is quantity. A 2025 study reviewed by Harvard researchers tracked the long-term cognitive outcomes of adults with chronic insomnia. Individuals in the study with a chronic insomnia diagnosis were 40% more likely to develop mild cognitive impairment or dementia than those without it. This risk is tied to measurable structural changes. Missing sleep is associated with an increase in white matter hyperintensities, signs of brain tissue damage, and the buildup of amyloid plaques linked to Alzheimer's. Rather than just causing grogginess, consistent sleep loss appears to facilitate a physical degradation of the brain's architecture. The final pillar, quality, centers on slow-wave deep sleep. A 2023 study in JAMA Neurology highlights how sensitive the brain is to this specific phase of rest. This chart illustrates a striking correlation. For adults over 60, just a 1% reduction in deep sleep per year is linked to a 27% increased risk of developing dementia. Researchers at the Karolinska Institute have identified a unifying biological mechanism for these risks: systemic low-grade inflammation. When timing is off, quantity is low, and quality is poor, inflammation increases. This prevents the brain's waste clearance system from removing the metabolic byproducts that accumulate during the day. This inflammatory response is what makes a poorly rested brain physically look and function as if it were significantly older than its chronological age. These findings suggest we need to view sleep as more than just a period of unconsciousness. It is a vital window for biological maintenance. Unlike genetics or our date of birth, sleep is a modifiable risk factor. It is a component of our health that we have the direct power to influence and improve. Protecting this system requires specific habits: aligning routines with natural light, reducing stress and room temperatures, and filtering out blue light. There are no pharmaceutical shortcuts. Traditional sleeping pills and sedatives generally do not increase the specific slow-wave deep sleep needed to clear toxic proteins from brain tissue. Given the physical evidence across these studies, sleep is the primary structural defense mechanism for our cognitive future. Protecting it tonight is one of the most effective ways to protect your brain tomorrow.